Good day, students. I'm your instructor for this day's discussion. I'm Jeune Elaine Saavedra. So first thing, we will present to you our objectives for this discussion. So after 35 minutes of discussion, the learners will be able to first define what is distance learning or distance education. Second will be list all the purposes in conducting distance education. Third will be enumerate the advantages as well as its disadvantages. Fourth will be distinguish or differentiate the two types of classes, which is the synchronous and asynchronous class. Fifth will be discuss the types of learners who are involved in conducting distance education. Next will be name all the 4 kinds of resources required in conducting this method. Next will be discuss how to use the method as well as the 7 principles for good practice in undergraduate education. And lastly, identify the potential problems that will arise in delivering the course of distance education. So next will be we will define what is distance education or distance learning. So according to De Jong, he defined distance education or learning as a process of giving information synchronously. So what is this? What we mean of synchronous? So synchronous implies the interaction between the teacher and the students simultaneously or real time. However, Lowenstein defined distance education or distance learning as a method used to connect teachers and students who are geographically separated. Distance education can be compared to a typical classroom setting wherein it occurs synchronously or simultaneously. However, the difference between the typical classroom setting is that the teacher and the students are located in one location or one place. In distance learning, the facilitator can be located in one place while his or her students can be located in different places or sites. Next, we will discuss or we will mention to you the purposes of distance education. So first purpose would be teacher and student. So the persons involved are the teacher and the students. So the teacher and students can see and hear each other on a monitor on a large screen. So in distance education, the teacher can use a monitor screen so that the students can see him or her. Second will be faculty and students at multiple sites can see and hear and participate in the class at the same time. So whenever the teacher will conduct a lesson, the students can see him or her through logging in or through using the internet. Next, the third purpose is it provides many students in rural areas with the opportunity to engage in an interactive classroom. So not only people who are living in cities or urban countries have the opportunity to use this kind of method, but also those people who are living in rural areas. So all of us can use or can freely use this method. So it was Goldsworthy who described the 5 lenses through which the learning can occur. So first is from the technology. So students can be taught in a package of software programs. So this best example for this is the Encarta Encyclopedia. So the students or the learners can log in or can install that software in order for them to learn or to search something if the situation arises. So second will be with technology. It uses a wide range of supportive products and programs. So just like, as I said, softwares, other softwares that can be installed in your computer as distance learning also. Third will be around technology. So the learners not only learn from the technology itself, but as well as they learn to interact in the surroundings with the technology. Fourth will be supportive or supported by technology. So Goldsworthy referred this to electronic ebook. So this is what we call the PDF format. So nowadays students are connecting to internet and downloading the PDF file to have, or if ever they need, or they will have their reading assignment, so they need to log in or to connect to the internet and download a electronic ebook. And the last lens is through the technology. So here the learners can interact to the students or to the other learners at different sites. So best example of this is chat online, or Facebook, or Friendster, or electronic ads. So next will be the advantages of distance education. First advantage is distance education have greater access, or it gives us greater access to information and even educational degrees. So through distance learning, so it can connect to World Wide Web or internet, so we can learn more through connecting in a internet. Next advantage will be learners who used to travel several hours to attend courses can now receive the information at home. So as I said, those people who are living in rural areas can now have the chance to access to the internet through distance education. So you will not need to travel along the way. You will not need to travel far in a far place just to attend your courses. So you can simply browse your internet, and there you go. You can learn from it. Next will be the ability to learn on one's own time frame. So in distance education, there's no limitation. So you can learn, you can browse freely without time constrictions. So next will be distance education gives the opportunity to learn more about technology. So if you have difficulty encountering in operating computers, or logging in, or don't know how to sign up, so you can, through distance education, it can enhance, or it can sharpen your knowledge or opportunity to learn more about certain types of or kinds of technology.
But there are also disadvantages in using distance education. So first, some learners may not be able to access hardware and software they need. So if you are lacking or missing any single software or hardware, you will have a difficulty in conducting or accessing the distance education or the method. In distance education, you lack face-to-face contact or direct contact with the facilitator because the facilitator is located at different place or location. Next would be, some may struggle in using the technology. So if you are illiterate in using technology, so you will really have a difficulty accessing distance education. Next is, some may not learn well with less structure in the educational experience. Unlike in typical classroom setting, there is a facilitator in front of you and conducting lessons and discussions or discuss some topics.